If you're a Thai watching the program, you'll most certainly recognize my guest today. But for those expats who are here, I might say this is an expat extraordinaire, a jack of all trades, and someone that you really should get to know much better. He is Mr. Todd Lavelle, who is, as I mentioned, well, you have many talents, many tricks of the trade, and actually that's probably a good place to start. How did you start this illustrious career? I mean, it seems you're into everything.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you, Johan, for having me here. แล้วสวัสดีทุกท่านที่ดูรายการนะครับ Thank you for watching. How did I get here? Well, my father, like my mother, and they went to a bar. Oh, no, that's not what you want to know. How did I get here in Thailand? I came here as a Fulbright scholar. Growing up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, I was gifted with Jesuit professors who taught me many things, Johan. And one of them was to open my mind to new things. And I decided I was going to be interested in Asian history. So I was studying medicine. I doubled my major in Asian history and then decided to focus on China. And after studying China, I decided I didn't like China. It scared me. And there was this place near China called Thailand. And for my research, I was researching herbs, traditional medicine. Thailand was a great place, famous for research. So I came here as a Fulbright scholar over 20 years ago with Chulalongkorn University. Spent 2 years traveling the mountains of Thailand. Was a great way to learn about the country and its people. And a great bridge, because when you walk a forest with a mountain doctor, you aren't Thai or American or anything. You are either strong or not. And it was a real honor to begin to see the country that way. And from there, a lot happened. From my work with the mountain doctor, I went to work in refugee camps with the U.S. government and UMBRO for 2 years as a cultural development officer. Saw a lot of crazy things in the Cambodian camps and the Vietnamese camps that I wanted to understand, Johan. So they sent me to the East-West Center in Hawaii to do another degree. And they sent me back to Chiang Mai University. And we lied to the Thai government, said I was studying language. But I was sneaking into Burma. And I spent about a year with the Karen people and the Shan, writing my thesis on the Democratic Alliance of Burma, groups that were fighting against the military. In the meantime, I began to play concerts. I was a singer since I was a little boy with At Carabao and other groups, and I became kind of famous. I was one of the first foreigners really to speak Thai fluently in an American way, you might say. And I was definitely the first to speak out against the military at the time, to talk about sex, to talk about issues that were maybe sensitive at the time. And from there, a lot happened. And I began to make my own music and my own festivals and my own television shows and write my own books. And our work has just grown over the years.
Well, before we get into some of the details of the work you've done, I'm curious, looking at your experience as an expat here, coming in here a number of years ago, and looking how the country's really developed since then, the challenges you faced coming here into a new culture, into a new language, a new family, as it were. For the expats who are really watching the show and are finding maybe feeling a little lost, what did you do, or were you just naturally open to learning something new, to really acclimate yourself or feel comfortable?
You know, thank you for reminding me that there are people watching, because really, because I am stingy about my time, and I'd like it to be most useful. So for those watching the show, I'd like you to enjoy life here. And to do that, I think this is a country where kindness, where laughter, giving are very important tools, even economic tools. And Thai, the word Thai comes from a beautiful word, Thai, maybe T-A-I, meaning a group of people or freedom. So these are a free people who came from probably a certain area of Assam and built this nation on freedom. So for those of you who are here, first I would say it's not that strange a land. There are many connections. And I like to emphasize connections. There's so much to share. Your most important organ and tool will be your ears, really. Listen and learn. Learn Thai. I think Thai is, number one, it's a very simple language. There's no grammar. If you've learned German or if you've learned any Romance language, Greek or Latin, you know there's feminine, masculine, all this stuff. There's none of it in Thai. Very clear language. The alphabet you could learn in a day. And this will open doors for you, I think. And for me, it did. Know how to laugh. I think very important in Thailand is to know how to laugh at yourself. Remember that Thai people don't take life all that seriously, and that's a good and bad. You can decide. But so when you learn to speak Thai, they'll laugh in their discomfort, and they're not laughing in mockery. They're laughing. It's a way to allay some discomfort. So if you know how to laugh, you'll do well. Learn the language, learn how to laugh, and share. Thai people are often, they're very easy to get to know quickly, I think, and difficult to move into deeply, even amongst Thai people themselves. I have staff who have been friends for 20 years and they still don't know things about each other. But do that, ask, and you'll find connections, I believe. It's a country of creativity and openness, and there are rules like anywhere else, a lot of hidden rules. But they're not that difficult. I mean, it's logic. It's common sense. You know, knowing the head is real important and the feet are not. What does that mean? Well, it means you bow now and then. It means you don't use your extremities a lot. It means a certain respectfulness in the way you talk. Maybe the greatest asset of Thai people, to me, Johan, is that they're listeners. Any completely the polar opposite of the American mentality. An American walks into a situation with an agenda.
Trying to dominate it, really, perhaps?
Maybe, yeah. And again, this is a plus and a minus, but we have this attitude, and this is being overly general, but Americans have an attitude that has taken us a long way, and that is that I have something to say, I have something to give, I have something to do. I can do this before reading the situation often. Whereas a Thai person, the complete opposite. They're passive. They come into a situation and the first thing they do is listen or learn or try to understand what's going on. Their ego or their self is the last issue. I believe. Like if you're watching and disagree, that's great. Email me and I'll learn from you. But overall, so I think laugh, listen, learn, and respect. Real respect. Thai people will read disrespect before you can fake it. Often we think we're getting away with an emotion, but Thai people are real quick to read emotions. So the why, when Thai people why, you know, it's from the Indian namaste, which is a wonderful concept. You know, you put your thumbs to your chakra, basically to your soul, and you say to somebody else's soul, here's to you. If you can do that in your heart, I think, when you meet Thai people, if you can be truly respectful, life is really good here.
Well, there are so many different groups that people can join, especially for the women's group. There's all different nationalities. I found another group for the other nationalities, the French group. I'm here to speak with the president and vice president of the Bangkok
Okay.
Oh, I'm so bad with languages, and French is even worse. So welcome, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tell me, what is your French group? Your AQL?
Our IK, which means welcoming in French, actually, yes. So we welcome French-speaking people in Bangkok. We are part of a big organization that have welcoming all around the world. The main cities around the world have one AK, and we propose many activities to the French-speaking people here in Bangkok and around. Weekly activities like sports or cultural meetings and English speaking and discovering of the city. With one part of our job is also visits in Bangkok and around Bangkok, like bicycle around Bangkok, to make people discover what we would not necessarily do by ourselves alone. And one big part of our association works is welfare work. So the whole money we gather during gala night or during these visits is for sustain Thai association here and NGOs, and we kind of select the NGOs that we support, and we have one person in charge, and she knows very nice organization here in Thailand that do very nice activities. So
wonderful. And how many members do you have now?
200. More than 300 now. More than 300, and I guess this year have arrived many French families. So I guess we'll pass maybe the 350 families.
And how about yourself? How long have you been here?
I'm in Thailand since 1.5 years.
1 year. 1 year. And how are you finding it? Is it interesting? What do you like to do? What's the most enjoyable thing about Bangkok?
The most enjoyable thing about Bangkok? My God, there are so many. Too many activities. It's very rich in cultural activities and very rich in sports activities. Very good quality standard. Cooking. Eating food. No, very nice. We have the museum activity also with the national group volunteer.
The volunteers,
Yes. Always have activities together. Very nice.
And if somebody wants to join your group, how can they find more information about that? Do you have a website?
Of course, we have one website. Our www.bangkokak.org, and you can join anytime, have any information on our website, and also we do coffee around Bangkok, and every Thursday we have at Alliance Française one office which is open to anybody from 10 to 1, second floor. Join us and be ready to make many things in Bangkok.
That's fantastic. It's always nice when you're an expat, whether it's your first posting or whether it's, you know, how many postings, it's nice to get a bit of home comfort as well. Like, I mean, the French to French, I mean, Australian to Australian. It's good to see, isn't it?
Very nice, but it's also a nice way to discover and to know Thai people, because we have also activities with the French-speaking students of Chulalongkorn and Silpakorn University. We do conversation group and in French for helping the students, and we have very nice exchange with them. It's very nice, very nice. So it's also a way to find people from your own country, but meeting Thai people also in a nice way.
Well, you sound like very busy. It's a very exciting group.
Yeah.
Very busy group. Well, fantastic. If you're interested in joining the French group, check the website out. There's many activities, as they said. A bit of a chance to go out with some other people, learn a bit more about Bangkok, and also do some charity work as well. So, ladies, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.